We don't want to hold you that are line. I'm going to try that all over again. We don't want to hold you that are online up. So we'll get started. It's kind of fun for me today. We're listening to the Commodores from Tuskegee, Alabama. Zoom, I started using as sort of the theme song for this series of webinars, partly because Zoom was so long ago and, everybody learned about Zoom with the pandemic particularly, but also because in my childhood, I lived in Tuskegee, Alabama, which is where the Commodores came from. And interestingly, many years ago, they renamed their town square Commodore Square. It had previously been Confederate Square, so I guess they were ahead on that issue. Now, flashing forward, right on that square is the law office of Fred Gray. If you don't know who Fred Gray is, he is a 91-year-old attorney who is just retiring. And Fred Gray was the attorney for Rosa Parks, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and the entire litigation that came out of the Montgomery bus boycott. He's done many other notable things in his life, but he and my father worked on some of the same issues together. And after my father passed a half dozen years ago, Fred was kind enough to spend the day with me. And so I was very pleased recently when he was awarded the Medal of Freedom by the president, the highest civilian award that can be awarded in this country. And he certainly deserved it. Fred is a shining light of the legal profession and someone that I certainly look up to. Having told you that story, true story, I'm going to fade out the Commodores and hit the meat of what we plan to talk about today. Just a couple of subjects. I started Rock Solid Law and Title 30 plus years ago, not only to serve the real estate planning, and business legal needs of particularly the beaches community, but also beyond, but also to be a member of this community. And I really enjoy what I believe my firm stands for as a good, upstanding community member that adds value to our community and, of course, participates in many, many ways in the community, specifically including supporting BEAM, Beaches Emergency Assistance Ministry, since the 90s, and love being a part of what they do. Just came from a Beaches Chamber event, and just so good always to see all of those fellow Beaches, residents, business owners, other people. And as a part of that participation in the Beaches community, I accepted the position probably 4 years ago. I don't actually remember. I should check that out. As the special magistrate for Neptune Beach, which means that I sit in a quasi-judicial proceeding to hear code enforcement violations that the city of Neptune Beach presents with respect to citizens whose properties are not in accordance with the code, which the city has involved. So rather enjoyable. We'll have another couple of hearings, I believe, in the upcoming month. We don't have them often. Neptune Beach really tries to work with his citizens to resolve disputes before coming into court. But for people that can't get that resolved, I'm there to hear it. So after I was appointed, I began to write a series of articles, which have been published in some of the little local papers, about I called it Sand Life Law, and issues that are near and dear to people who live, work, play, and care about the beaches. So today I just wanted to do the live webinar touching on a couple of the subjects. And of course, these are near and dear to my heart as a beach resident and somebody who works here. I do occasionally cross the ditch as recently as 48 hours ago. But, those of us that live out here, we love it out here. So first is litter. We've just passed July 4th, again, celebrating our nation's independence and our wonderful experiment in democracy, which continues on. I love July 4th. I come from people who were here at the Revolutionary War, and I'm a direct descendant of a general from the Revolutionary War. However, July 5th is my least favorite day at the beaches. And this year I was out of town, so I don't get to whine about it. But typically the crowds that visit the beaches on July 4th leave it trashed. And so litter is an issue which is near and dear to my heart. I think we're trying to change the psychology of it. I believe over my lifetime, people have started littering less, although yesterday on the way to work, I saw somebody throw a cigarette butt out of his car. Littering's not okay. It's horrible for our environment. Your mother's not with you. She's not going to pick up after you. We're all paying somebody who's going to have to pick up after you. But that's not the biggest. The biggest reason it's not okay is it's just wrong. But after that, the biggest reason it's not okay is it's illegal. In fact, Duval County, then of course, Duval County incorporates Jacksonville, the beaches, and the entire county has a zero tolerance for littering law. And that law states that people who can't pick up after themselves should be punished. Litter is wrong. This law includes a fine of $150 for the first instance, $300 for the second offense, and $500 for the third and each subsequent offense. So we have laws on the books that can fine litterers. Now, obviously, it's not the keystone issue at any time that the police are worried about. So I would suggest that the citizens on patrol that help the police be empowered to levy tickets, fines for people that are littering, especially on our beach. I've been known to offer people a trash bag when I look at their beach setup and notice that there's a lot of litter around. I really appreciate the Jacksonville Beach program of placing more and more trash cans along the beach so that it's easier for people to clean up. The easier we make it, the more likely they are to do it. The biggest problem with litter is environmental, and it's for sea life. Of course, we adore living at the ocean, but living here, I believe that it is our obligation to take care of the health of the ocean. The litter which is not picked up is carried out to sea and has a significant negative effect on sea life. Did you know? I love sea turtles. Okay. We always adopt the nest and we just think the Sea Turtle Patrol are great people. Did you know, though, that a sea turtle's favorite food is a jellyfish? And the jellyfish looks exactly like a Ziploc or other plastic bag that's floating in the ocean? Every year, dead sea turtles are recovered that were killed because they ingested plastic bags and they can't process them through their bodies. So it ends up killing them. So the litter that's out there is literally killing this beautiful sea life that we're privileged to share this planet with. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but we need to stop it. And we need to change people's minds that it's not okay. Excuse me. And what I do and encourage others to do is to pick up at least one piece of litter off the beach every time you visit. If everybody does that, and we have the folks that are hired to clean the beaches, we're going to have a lot cleaner beaches in Jacksonville. And if you don't care about the environment, perhaps you care about the economy. And the better the beach, the more people we're going to have visit, and the more money they're going to spend in our community. Better for all of us. So, concluding this subject and moving to the other, I want to acknowledge and thank the Beach's Sea Turtle Patrol for all of their efforts, but particularly for their annual July 5th beach cleanup. I would suggest that you go and like and join their page on Facebook, or otherwise get in touch with them, and that you support them. Maybe a small donation, maybe joining in their efforts. You'll get notifications on when you can go and do a little cleaning up yourself. So number two, bicycles, right? Bicycles are such an ingrained part of the sand life at the beaches, right? At Jacksonville's beaches. We love our bicycles. I love holiday weekends or regular weekends when First Street is clogged with bikes. And I could say that even though to get to my home, I have to drive on First Street. I don't mind waiting for the bicyclists to get through because I think it's such a great part of our life. It's healthy. It's eco-friendly. There's just nothing bad about it. I will admit that because I have small kids, we tend to ride on the beach because I worry a little less there. So in Florida, a bicycle is legally defined as a vehicle, and the bicyclists are defined as a driver. So bicyclists have the same rights to the roadways and must obey the same traffic laws as the drivers of other vehicles. Those laws include stopping for stop signs and red lights, riding with the flow of traffic, right on the right, and using lights at night. That's one I particularly get on my high horse about. We really need to get people using lights at night because I just don't want to see people get hit. Did you know that cyclists under the age of 16 are required by law to wear helmets? I've got kids. They don't want to do it, but the law says they have to. Why? Because we want to protect them, protect their skulls, protect their brains. So good luck to all of us parents in that regard. But maybe by knowing it is the law, it'll help you make the argument. The other thing about bicycles, did you know a bicycle is stolen every 7 seconds? Is that incredible? So I would recommend to you that, particularly if you're a resident of Jacksonville Beach, you participate in their bicycle registration program. Very simple to do. And that way, if the police do recover your bike, there's a better chance of you getting it back. I know I've had a bicycle stolen. When our kids outgrow them, we just set them down on the curb so somebody else can get the use and enjoyment out of them. Yeah, it's a bad feeling when your bike is gone. So I recommend a really good lock. We lock our bikes up everywhere we go. Now, vehicle drivers are required by law to share the road. It's more than just a slogan. They need to give bicyclists a minimum of 3 feet of clearance when driving alongside or passing them. A full yard, 3 feet of clearance. So don't be buzzing by where your mirror almost hits their elbow. Give them some room. And there's some places, as you know, in Jacksonville Beach, where bicycles are permitted to use the whole lane. So you just need to slow down and stay behind them. Now, cyclists can assist in staying safe by what's called riding big. They encourage them to sit up straight, wear bright clothes, even the way that they ride in the lane, not to ride way over at the edge, but out far enough where a vehicle driver is likely to see them. So I know today is not a day where I dive deeply into trusts or into a subject regarding real estate transactions and law, or even a business law matter. But the beaches are so near and dear to my heart that I really wanted to talk about not littering on the beaches. And I wanted to talk about safety when riding bicycles. These issues are so important. So teach your children well, use good sense when you ride your own bike. Don't throw litter on our beaches, pick up a little extra litter, and let's make the beaches an even more amazing place to live. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. There'll be another webinar coming up in the near future. If there are any questions about today, shoot me a question at questions@rocksolidlaw.com. I'm John Miller, founding owner, senior attorney at Rock Solid Law and Title. Have an absolutely amazing day and enjoy living in the paradise that we call the beaches. I'm going to try to play Zoom for you, but yeah. YouTube's messing with me. There we go. Lionel Richie, take it away. Walter Clyde Orange and the rest of the Commodores. Have a wonderful day. I'm John Miller.